Hi, namaste. I'm here to recite a story which I wrote a couple of years back. In fact, it was written in English, in Nepali, and published in Barakhari.com. That's one of the popular online newspaper in Nepal. And I am trying to translate that verbally, although it's written in English, in Nepali, but I'll try to translate it in English and tell you the story. I hope you'll like it as you liked the previous ones as well. It's this is the story of qualified immigrant, first generation immigrant, how a first generation immigrant has to struggle to get their feet in the door, and it's in the context of Western Canada. It's from Calgary. The story is from Calgary, and I am there as a character, but it's not my story. It's someone else's story, but it has got some attachment, some connection to my story as well. So yeah, the story itself was called as That One Morning. The title was That One Morning, but the way I wanted to present as a translated version as Medium Double Double. So the story's name, the title of the story would be Medium Double Double. That is pretty much Canadian, I hope, I guess. So the story starts like this. Why don't you come to my clinic, or we can meet in Village Square, St. Mall as well. Village Square Fitness Center, because I'm too busy today. He just moved his Mercedes 2018 SUV ahead, and just wanted me to see him later on because he told that he was so busy. I told him sure, yeah, we will. I will check you, but I don't know whether he heard me or not because he was in rush. He's nobody other than a person whom I met earlier in Tim Hortons, and I called him Bonduda. Bondu is a friend in Bangla, and Da is like if you add Da at the end of the name, it's like you're paying some sort of respect to the person as a senior brother. So that's how the story starts. My name is Trayambakesh Bidari. I'm from Nepal. I was born and brought up in one of the hilly regions, not that far from Kathmandu, and Trayambakesh is definitely a complicated name, so I renamed myself as MB when arriving to Canada as a new immigrant, and then yes, like MB. That MB is interesting because in Nepal, if you have some sort of connection with or affiliation, or even if you were a silent supporter of Maoist movement, you have called yourself as MB, Maobadi. So I derived that from there. But I mean, I relied, or I love to call as Maoist because I had that strong affiliation to that political ideology. Although like that was a long time back. When I came to Canada, that's not the story anymore. Because I learned if my CM, my chairman of the party, can can get back to the multi-party democracy system, why shouldn't I? So I am no more a Maoist, but I gave myself the name MB, and it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Like, I mean, everybody has their ideology. So what I was doing back in Nepal was like I was a post-secondary university teacher, post-secondary teacher. So I used to drive in multiple colleges to teach. So I was a teacher. And I always enjoyed teaching. I tried to find similar kind of job arriving to Calgary, Western Canada, and that was not possible. Although, like I was selected by the Canadian government in that fast track system because I was teaching there as a university lecturer. So in order to survive, whatever the job comes first, I took it, and now I'm working with a not-for-profit organization which helps the new immigrants to get settled in the Canadian society. Again, going back to the workplace culture in Canada, I like the most is like there's a very strong flavor of morning coffee, and that coffee is also of Tim Hortons. They're very proud Canadian brand, Tim Hortons. But I never liked drive-through of Tim Hortons because for a cup of coffee, like you might have to wait like half an hour or more than that. So I always prefer to get into the store, to the restaurant, and order. So I did the same this morning as well, and I walked into the store and ordered, and I was online waiting for my time to order, and somebody read my name tag of my work, which I usually carry on my vest, where it was written Troyam Bakesh Birari MB. And then this guy who was on the other side of the counter read it with a very precise phonetics, Troyam Bakesh. And he asked, "Are you from India?" I said, "No, I'm from Nepal." "Oh, I thought you were from India, sorry." And I said, "And you?" Because he looked like an Indian. And I said, "Oh, I'm from Bangladesh." Okay, so we are from the same region. But I didn't have enough time. I just got his name. I didn't have enough time to talk to him because it's a rush hour again. So I just ordered those enough donuts and coffee and went to work. It's a very normal process in the morning. And when I arrived at my work, I turned on my computer and checked the appointment list because I'm the counselor. I had to provide some advices to the newcomers, to the new immigrants. So that was my role. I opened the list and I found a name, Jagat Bandhu Mitra, and he happened to be a medical doctor, a dentist, a fine dental surgeon. I quickly scanned his resume and I was shocked. Like, I mean, as per my qualification, I cannot counsel him. He's way qualified, way higher qualified. He had all gold medals in his schools and everything. So I was sort of you could call it like I was intimidated by his resume. But that's a part of my job. I had to handle it. There's no other option. So I was preparing myself, and the appointment was at 9:30, I guess. Yes, that was 9:30. So I got a call from my receptionist at work. I said, "Your appointment at 9:30 has arrived. So would you be able to come to receive him in the front desk?" That's a common practice in workplaces here. So I did that. I went, and while coming back to my office, I asked him. I checked him. "How's life, doctor?" He was shocked. He said, "Oh, you know that I'm a doctor." I said, "Yes, I know, because your resume says that." So I went through your resume. He was happy to know that I knew him as a doctor. So even I cracked the joke. I said, "Even though I saw you in Tim Hortons counter, you didn't look like a coffee server. You looked like a doctor." I don't know whether he felt he took it as a compliment or not, but he was happy. I could read his eyes, and he was happy to know that I recognized him as a doctor. So and then we sat. I asked him to feel comfortable in my office. I get the door closed so that we can discuss some confidential matters as well if you wanted to, and I asked him if he's comfortable with that, and we started. The way conversation began is like it's very unique that a Hindu from Dhaka, Bangladesh, was in front of me. Usually when it comes to Bangladesh, we consider it as a Muslim country, and majority of people we meet from Bangladesh should be Muslim. But there's a significant population of Hindus and Buddhists as well that I knew from my studies, and that I brought from Nepal as an asset of knowledge. However, I asked, like, "Okay, so tell me about yourself." And he felt, I don't know like why he felt so comfortable with me, but he started talking about his history and everything. So he started with, "Well, I'm a Hindu from Bangladesh, and my granddad, perhaps I'm the last person to be born in eastern Pakistan, because at one point there was a country split by India and by the name Pakistan, which had East Pakistan and West Pakistan. But in 1972, I guess, around that time, 71, 72, that East Pakistan was separated and started being called as Bangladesh." So he said, like, perhaps I'm the last person to born in East Pakistan, and then it was converted to Bangladesh. But we were Hindus. My granddad from my parental side was a witch doctor, traditional doctor, and my maternal grandfather was a fish merchant in Dhaka. So like we were sort of well-to-do family from both sides. My dad is also a medical doctor. He's a general physician. He just retired. My mom had a master's degree in culture. So we were in a good family. My maternal granddad and my maternal uncles still have their business running. Although like now they're not in fishery, rather they're in garment industry. But you know, Bangladesh's garment is heavily, influential in the global market. So they're doing good. So altogether, I was born and brought up in a well-to-do family. There was nothing wrong in cultural side. Nobody was attacking us. But like I did my undergrad in dentistry from Bangladesh itself and got a scholarship for my specialization. I did that from UK and then went back, did some practice over there in Bangladesh, in Dhaka, but I don't know what uprooted me. I do not have any clue why I chose to immigrate to Canada. Whatever I wanted to achieve here, I would have achieved back home as well. It's just like I just wanted to immigrate to Canada. I don't know why. I said, okay. And I asked, okay, well, what about your wife? Oh, my wife was also, she was also from the medical field, but she's a nurse and she also decided to move with me. So I have now my young family with me. My son is adolescent now. And yeah, so that's it. I said, okay, that's very interesting. So well, again, coming back to present context, like I came to Canada and I tried to get a job in my field. I could not. There are so many hurdles, but we have to bring food on the table because I have a young family, and whatever I brought from Bangladesh is not sufficient enough to survive in Canada, in Calgary particularly, when it's so pricey. Everything's so pricey. So I mean, I had to work. I had to get going. So I got a job in first in the McDonald's, and then McDonald's. Tim Hortons was paying better than McDonald's at that time. So, and I got opportunity to work at Tim Hortons, and now I'm engaged with Tim Hortons. I'm working as a cashier over there. So that's my basic introduction. That's how Bonduda explained himself and added, one fine morning I was not happy with the studies of my boy, and I told him, come on buddy, you are a son of a doctor. What the hell are you doing with your studies? Your studies are not up to that par. And he's an outspoken guy. He just told, yeah, Dad, you were a doctor over there in Bangladesh. You're no more a doctor here in Canada. You are just a coffee server. That made me think, do I have enough to get back to my career, to get back to my profession? And perhaps that brought me to your office. Please help if you can. There was a water bottle in front of him. He just opened that whole water bottle, drank whole bottle as a couple of sips. Opened the glasses, took off the glasses, wiped his eyes. I could see that sorrow in him. That was tough. That was tough for me as well to comprehend. And again, as I said, like it was hard for MB to counsel him because he's way there. I was shocked. It was a bit awkward for me at first glance to deal with it. However, he again started adding. I was trying to get back to my career. but I'm stuck. I have to work with Tim Hortons. Otherwise I can feed my family. I cannot do that. I cannot. And my wife, like, she works as a, even though being a registered nurse over there with a qualification and everything, like, she couldn't get a job in her field here, so she's working as an early childhood educator, and that's it. So how much she makes? She makes like $18 an hour, and how much I make? 14. That's it. Even less. See? Now, if I want to go back to school to do what I want to do and achieve my career goal, I can do it. I don't have enough money to do that, and I'm stuck. Like, if I do not work like 40 hours a week in Tim Hortons, I'm done. I'm dead. That's the story. That's the story of new immigrants everywhere in Canada. They come with qualifications, but they won't get the job. That's where the problem starts. Again, like, as a career counselor, I was shocked. I felt awkward, and I felt myself helpless as well. But what I see is, it's a story. And this story has a life. I love these type of stories. I also have a story. I don't want to tell you my story. We will talk about my story later on as we go. But let me tell you one thing. I am on the other side of the table today. You could have been here, and I would have been there. Persistence is required, my friend. I did that, and I hope you will listen to me and you act accordingly. And as per our culture, since you are older than me, I'll call you Bonduda. Is that okay? Sometimes that cultural touch is so important to make him feel comfortable, make the next person comfortable. He's so comfortable. He said, yes, you can call me Bonduda. I could see that. You're younger than me. So, I asked him to update his resume. I gave him some tips, and I asked him to come back again after a week. And the homework was not to update the resume, but to have a career plan, short term, medium term, and long term, with the career goal, ultimate career goal. And homework for me was to help him to get into his professional network, which is not that easy, obviously. However, we agreed upon that plan, and we booked the appointment for next week, and he left. In the meantime, I did my homework, he did his homework. He came back after a week. I could see a light or a charm on his face on that day, in the second visit. He laid out his career plan, but unfortunately it was straightforward, like, okay, I'll do this, and I'll become a dental doctor. But that's not how it works. I knew that, so I told him, well, it doesn't work that way. So I felt like, and I told him, I felt like, you have that ego inside you, and you want to prove right with your son. You can do that, but this is not how you will achieve that. So you need to have that ego, you need to have that perseverance, but this is not the way. If I were you, I would have done differently. And he was open to listen because he had lost everything, so he didn't have to lose anything to listen. So he was patient to listen to me. So I started talking. Okay. You have to have a plan for 5 years. Do you have that patience? You have to have a plan laid out for 5 years. It looks like that long, but I can help you. If you really want to achieve your ultimate career goal, you will be a doctor. You will be a dentist here in Canada, in Calgary. Do you want that? I said, and he said, yes. Yes. I will. I'll listen to you. So I said, I have a contact in the university. She's a doctor, Parisian doctor. She's a dentist. She's an associate professor as well. She's conducting a dental camp for South Asian kids. It's a research project, and she's looking for somebody who can assist her in her research as a research assistant. If you want, I can connect you to her. If you want, I'm no hard feeling. Although it's not a doctor's job, but it's similar, not similar, but in your field at least. Do you want to pursue that? He asked me. Okay, I can do that. I can do that. But let me think about it. I might be able to go that route. He asked me a couple of days. After 3 days, he called me at my work and said, MB, no, I don't want to go that route. And I said, Bondhuda, tumi ki boka? That means, are you stupid? It's opportunity. Just grab it. Like, there's no harm. Like, she's paying you $17 an hour, which is higher than what Tim Hortons is paying you, and you'll get into contact with the doctors, with the world of dentistry in Western Canada, and that might help you to get into the field. At least, like, you'd be talking not about the coffee, but the and oral hygiene, dental hygiene. It's up to you. I mean, if I were you, I would have taken this opportunity. It was hard for him to digest that because he was not a research dentist. He was a practicing dentist. But he asked me a few more days to get back to. The next morning, he called me and told me, MB, yes, I will take that. So now, he went as a volunteer. Not as a volunteer, he was paid, but as a research assistant. But after that dental camp with South Asian kids, this Persian doctor called me thrice and asked. It was sort of reference check. And her remark was, this guy, Jogat Bondhu from Bangladesh, this doctor, he sounds like very professional, very knowledgeable, and he has that content. So do you recommend me to hire him as a research associate? I was so happy to know that. I was so happy to know that. I said, I think he deserves that. I think he deserves more than that, but that could be his first baby step to get to have his foot in the door. And again, after an hour or so, I got a call from Bonduda. Bonduda was telling me, Andy, this doctor wants me to work as a research assistant, research associate, and she's paying me $21 per hour. What do you think? Should I take that? Now I was more comfortable with him to talk about all these things, and said, if you're not taking it, you'll prove yourself to be stupid. You should not let this opportunity go. Grab this opportunity, man. If I were you, I would have even not thought twice and said yes. He was happy to hear that. And then he said, okay, so then I'll go ahead and talk to her, and then if anything I'll get back to you. I said, anytime. It's my pleasure. I'll be able to help you. If I'll be able to help you, I'm here to help you. And after a couple of days, I got him in my office. He just walked in with a box of sweets, which is very common in South Asia, to celebrate the success, basically. Right? So he came to my office. He touched my feet. Literally, he touched my feet and said, my granddad used to say that he doesn't know whether the God exists or not, but Guru exists, and Guru is in the form of God. And you proved yourself to be my Guru. You showed me the path. All the Gurus, as it translated in English from Sanskrit, Guru is the person who shows light in the dark. You showed me the light in the dark, so you're my Guru. I'm so privileged to have you to help me. I was filled up. My eyes were filled with tears. I was crying literally, but that was a cry of joy. And I said, no, you don't have to touch my feet. That's my job. That's how I feel more accomplished. And then I thought that story was ended. I thought it was a happy ending. Got an email. After 3 years, I got an email. My work email. I am still working with the same company, same not-for-profit organization, helping the new immigrants to get settled in Canadian society. Got an email from Dr. Jagat Bandhu Mitra, MBBS, MD, blah blah blah, certified dental doctor. There were a lot of alphabets after his name. A long name tag. So, what he wrote is, I can never ever forget the person by the name MB who helped me to become a dentist in Canada, and I wish him a great success. And today is the date when you yelled at me, literally saying "Tumike boka." I like that phrase. Yes, I was stupid not to grab that opportunity and take that risk. You really are a guru. I respect you. At the end, I thought, yes, that's an accomplishment. I did that, and I'm happy of my job because I helped somebody to get their feet in the door. Well, today, again, I was thinking of all these things. It's a flashback for me as well. I was so tired driving a long drive on 52nd Avenue in Calgary. So I stopped over the same Tim Hortons where I met my Bodhuda, the doctor, where he was a coffee server. And I saw a new coffee server. A new coffee server. He looked like a person from Somalia, and he was totally professional. So I thought maybe yet another doctor is here serving the coffee. But you know what? I went to that coffee shop, restaurant. Everything was the same. The flavor of the coffee was the same. My car was same. The chairs were same. This new guy looked like a Somali guy, was different. And I stepped and asked, "Are you happy with your job?" And he said, "Well, a mechanical engineer serving coffee is not always a fun." And he laughed. I said, I gave him my business card and said, "Okay, I'll see you tomorrow in my office. If you want, you can come. I can talk to you and help you to get your foot in the door. I cannot promise whether you will be able to get that or not. I can just promise that, yes, I can help you to show the path." It was a happy ending for me. And one thing I learned, sometimes one thing I learned from the story, that sometimes your adults and kid, your teenager, at your household for a new immigrant family could be blessing in disguise. They could show you the path. I was just telling him the way